everyone. It's your fancy lady, Miss Giselle, here with the lovely Miss Jasmine. We are here finishing up our book that we've been reading called That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. Um, I have some things to say about that. We actually have some spicy pages to read because I felt like we weren't doing justice before because we were not reading anything with you guys because we were keeping, I don't know about you, Jazz, but I was keeping it to myself because especially after chapter 10, I was feeling it even more.
Yes. It is well cherished, and I didn't want to give too much away because it's such a good book that I was trying not to give enough away. But now that we're getting ready to close it out, I feel like go big or go home.
Yeah. Let me tell you the story. I played the audiobook where I was about to sleep one night and all I heard is all the spicy stuff. And I was like, wait a minute. I have to get up. What is going on? How did that happen? Who is this person? What's going on?
Yeah.
I love it. I was so happy for it. Um, did you want to jump right in or do you want to introduce yourself? Or do you, I personally feel like we're pretty much known, but go off, Queen. Go off.
I'm Jasmine LaFleur, Jasmine the Sweet, half of this sweet and spicy combo. You can follow me on Black Fade Official, and we'll get into that later. But yes, y'all know who it is. It's Jazzy.
And of course, I'm the spicy one because that's all I really care about. I need the spice. I need the oof. I need them to say some very very crazy things to me, like Fallon does. Fallon, like, he gets a little cheeky in these things. Like, I was screenshotting the pages so we can post it here to read, and I was blushing. I was just like, oh my gosh, Fallon, what is going on? Where was this? I was like, exactly. And then she was just like, I'll be good. I was like, yeah. I totally understand. But so if you don't mind, I'll pretty much say the last part we started off on was discussing, I believe, around chapter 10 is where we last ended. At this point in the story, we're going to read from chapter 12 in a moment, but it is pretty much they already took care of the first temple. They went back home, had a little shenanigan, found a village where another temple was, met up with Felix and a few other new friends, and then, which was a werewolf, right? He's a werewolf. Yeah, werewolf, make some other friends, and they wind up like taking a boat. So right now it's pretty much Fallon is... he's very bold. He's just like, look, this is my woman. This is who you're my wife. And she's like, shut up. No, I'm not. That's not how this shit works. I'm not dealing with your demon magic bullshit. I'm not dealing with it. But he is real 100%. He's like, nah, this is my baby boo. And I will, and like, mind you, they're on the ship. And what is her name? How do you say her name? But she's like, we have to put rankings on the ship now because we're all women and these are all men and we can't do that. And she became the cheese queen, which I thought was hilarious. She was like, I'm the cheese queen. And she's like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? That was adorable. Because cheese is a big thing for her. And I, again, can relate. I love cheese. And they are on the ship, of course. They're about to get into some nasty. They were about to get into some nasty because she's accepting it now. They went through their little journeys, and she's like, you know what? I do like him. I think I love him. Like, I love him. And she's being a little chicken, as I think all of us are. I don't care. Like, I relate. She's a little shy. She's like, I can't say nothing. She's very rational about it. And I felt for him when he tells her, don't fuck with me, pretty much. Like, don't say, she's like, I think I love you, or I love you. And he's like, you better fucking say that. Like, you mean that? She's like, I mean it. And then the fucking boat starts getting fucked up. And he's like, well, maybe we gotta see what your friends are up to. She's just like, no, 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 no. Dick first. It's fine. Dick first.
Oh,
And
but
he's
let's
go
get
ahead,
into
go ahead.
that scene because that was probably my favorite scene in the whole book.
Mm-hmm.
Because she finally, just was like, I love you. Like, I can't
Mm-hmm.
get over it. Also, Felix and Usa kind of
Usa.
teased her because she was like, well, what do I say? Because they finally like coaxed her to admit it, and they're
Yep.
drinking and shooting the shit, and they're like, well, what? She's like, what do I say to him? Like, he's a dragon, he's all powerful. Like, I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget
Mm-hmm.
the Minotaur, the only other female other outside of Usa, and
Yeah, I'm trying to let me see if I have her name.
she is like this big brawny
Ursa? No, 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 no.
uh
Ursha? Is it her?
Usa.
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 Dante. Oh well, Dante we didn't talk about, but again, I'm in love with him. I don't care.
So
I changed my
Usa
mind.
is
Go ahead.
there. The Minotaur is there, who's like super strong, and she's like, we just fight for the strongest
Yep.
one, and that's who we go for. So I don't have these problems. And she's like, and I like girls. I'm not even into dudes. And then
Exactly.
Felix is like, why don't you tell him? And he says this beautiful, like poetic thing, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that you love him and that you want to go through these battles with him. And even though it's uncertain for you because you're a human and he's a dragon, you're just meant to be, and
Mm-hmm.
just be real. And
So
everybody's just like, say that, say that. Yeah, that's it.
romantic.
And so she
Yeah.
gets her liquid courage, I guess, and she goes to see Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
And um she was just like, a friend,
Yep.
I'm in love with you. And
Yeah. Well,
he
didn't sorry to interrupt, but didn't she say something like she was about to confess, got scared, and she was like, there's the pheasant is gonna run out if you want some. He's like, oh, I'm full. Never mind. But like the way I read it is
Mhm.
that he was waiting for her to say something.
Yeah, he said, I was
And he was like, oh,
waiting.
never mind. I guess no, I'm not hungry. She's like, oh, okay. And she's like yelling at herself. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, it was an internal struggle because she knew, like, if I don't say it now, I'm not ever going to say it, basically.
Hmm.
And, or might not get the chance because, we might not even make it out of this alive. And
Very true.
so he was like, it was like she finally said things that he wanted to hear for so long. And he was like, well,
Hmm.
I knew the moment that I saw you and I was peeking through that window that you were my woman.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's such a creeper. But
He's
yeah,
a creeper, but I love that though, because he's just like, he's so nonchalant about things, like very matter of factly with everything he does. Just like, was I supposed to kill him or just push him down? Like, what did you want? Or like everything he talks about, or like, do you want me to kill this guy? He did hit you. He put his hands on you. He's like, yeah, but he's cool. And I'm like, he's like, what do you mean? Like, am I not supposed to? And then
yeah.
when it comes to the love
And he
situation,
like,
he's always been about it. He's
yes.
always been from the day one, and she's just like, shut up. I don't care what you have to say.
But in this moment, he almost gets really feral because he like
Mm-hmm.
grabs her around the waist and he digs
Mm-hmm.
his hands in, and she was like, it was so rough that she thought she was going to have bruises after.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't say that unless you mean it, because
Yep.
I mean this shit when I say it. And she's
I
like,
love
no,
that.
I mean it. And he was like, well, I could kill you right now. What's stopping me from killing you right now? Like, are you
Yep.
still trying to say that you're in love with me? He's like, I'll kill everybody on the ship. And she's like,
Oh
yeah,
God.
like I love you. And he was like, well, if you love me, understand that I'm a demon and I'll take your whole soul. Like,
Yeah, that part really got me because he was straight up like,
he's like, I don't want,
so
yeah.
yeah,
He's like, I
he's
don't want
not.
just you. I want your soul. Are you
Yup,
willing to give me your soul?
I
She said,
know that
yes.
would give me a red flag though. I ain't gonna, like, I would say yes still, but I'm just like, oh, mm, this might
He
be a
is a
trap.
demon.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's just like, I read this in a book somewhere. I don't think I'm supposed to trust that. Like,
Yeah.
but it's adorable. I thought it was really, really good to that point. Actually, until the end, honestly, fell in love with it. And then they're on the boat. It's getting crashed. Like they're fighting. They call her Cheese Queen one more time because they're like, "Can we raid the boat?" And she's like, "Yeah, I fucking guess." But that part too, what Fallon tells her, because she's so embarrassed because of the Cheese Queen situation, that he's like, she was like, "Oh, so what if anything happens? Like, can you like me? Like, can you end me?" And he's like, "Nah, I'd rather kill everybody in this boat besides you, baby. Like, don't worry about it." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's so sweet." Found out it's a trap from the goddess, but it's also like one of the temples, in a sense, because there's like a cup there, I
They have
believe.
one of the chalices on there
Yeah, they have
because
one of the
they needed
chalices.
to transport it so that they could use her power to on the
Mhm,
for the ambush.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's when we get introduced to another dragon, another demon, dragon, demon, whatever. Um, I love his description in the book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, and then like when both of them meet each other at the end, like when they're both on even playing, and he's like, "Oh, so you got caught by the goddess? That's kind of wild of you. Ain't you
Yeah.
old as shit?" And he's just like,
Yeah.
"Yo, shut up, bro. Shut up."
Rewinding a little bit for
Yeah,
y'all.
go ahead.
So there's an ambush on this other
Mhm,
boat, and a big fight happens. A lot of mist, like magical mist, starts to come around them,
mhm,
and immediately Fallon has to transform into a dragon because there's another dragon being controlled by
mhm,
Maven's power, and he's silvery, like very beautiful dragon,
mhm,
very dangerous, and they're
mhm,
fighting and poor Sin. Sin is so like worried about Fallon that she gets on her horse Bash,
mhm,
that is like a Pegasus now because it got hit with some magic and has wings,
mhm.
and she rides with her little cinnamon branches up above the dragons, and she jumps, like she just jumps to go on top of
Mhm,
Dante, the silver dragon, to kind of help Fallon because he was not winning against this dragon. He was kind
mhm,
of struggling a little bit. And so she goes over to try to help, and she's like, doing the thing to break the chalice. And
mhm,
they break it, they free him, but they fall. She's still on top of the dragon. They fall, crash land on this island, and Fallon is devastated. He's like, why did she risk her life like that? Like, I had it.
mhm.
Like, he's terrified that she's like dead, but she was all right. And she freed the dragon from Mavis' spell, which was really cool. And
Which,
Dante's very beautiful. He has long silvery hair, and he's just
mhm.
like,
I think I have
so.
it.
Oh, you might have a picture?
Let me. Oh my gosh, where'd he go? There he goes.
Dante, yeah, that's from
Dante.
Kimberly's
Yep,
page.
on their page. I didn't have a chance to get anything else, but I really like. I don't know. I think I don't know. I also watch a lot of K dramas, so I think that's why I'd be loving them.
Yes.
But
Okay, so I got like the wuxia drama with like the long, flowy, straight hair
mhm,
that just looks so like, yeah, from the K
looks
dramas.
so
I think
good. Looks
like
so
the
good.
historical ones.
Exactly. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to make sure I have something coming up right now. Do 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 do. All right. So, with that being said, everybody's chill, right? Everybody's kind of Gucci. They won. The dragon, Dante, is with them now in a sense. He's just like
Yeah.
recuperating. But Fallon can't wait no more. Fallon cannot wait. He's like, I need my wife.
She
I
risked her
need
life for me.
Yusha's her life. That's my baby. I'm gonna claim her, and claim her he does. So, um, this goes into, I think, like we're in chapter 12 at this time. He takes her to an island, like a little off place. She's still kind of recovering herself, like waking up. And did you want to start with the reading? Do you want me to start with the reading, or we can go one and one? There is 6 pages.
Okay, we can go one on one, I think.
Okay, so we can start with page 1. For everybody can follow along with us. I'm also going to put it on my phone. Okay, I can go first. Oh my goodness. Oh wait,
Okay.
I don't have to do that. I have it right here in front of me. That's what happens when you work on 18 different devices. All right. So he carried me through the forest, following the river. Soon we came across a great waterfall surrounded by tall trees and wildflowers. Fallon jumped up higher on the ledge of the waterfall before stopping on a mossy slope. This will do, he said, setting me down. I rubbed the sleepiness out of my eyes so I could take in the beautiful scenery. Do for what? Excuse me. For blocking out the noise. Sorry, for blocking out the noises you're about to make. Fallon dropped to his knees in front of me and tugged my shirt off. I yelped as the cool air hit my bare skin. He ran down my thighs before grabbing me by the hips and dragging me closer to him. Unless you want our new friend to hear, I have no problem taking you in front of him. So long as he sees that you are mine. Oh, okay. I covered my face with my hands. Fuck. The image of that was hotter than than it needed to be. Fallon pulled my hands away from my face and pinned them to the side of my head. Tendrils of his long black hair fell gently against my collarbone. His voice dropped to a dangerous whisper against my ear. What did I tell you about hiding things from me?
Oh my gosh,
Man.
why did I have to go next? It's too spicy.
Okay,
Okay,
I got you.
I'll let you turn the page for everyone.
Oh,
But
I'm doing
yes,
that right now. I
I was
got
like,
you.
I can't believe he had Dante. He was like, well, you want Dante to hear.
Yep.
Okay.
Honestly, go off.
I shuddered as he bit my ear. Finally, my hands were freed as Fallon braced himself on one arm before dragging his knuckles against my neck. Hooded, obsidian eyes pulled the rest of my mind out of some slumber. Are you going to be good? Or am I going to have to tie you up again? Oh, Lord, the choices. Just like before on the ship, my hunger for him was beyond desperate. It was savage. I always considered myself a proud woman, but if he pulled away now, even for a moment, I'd resort to begging. I'll be good. Fallon smiled at me with a look of such tender devotion that my chest felt tight. He drew me to him, capturing my lips in a kiss. This time, there was no gentleness. My lips parted, giving in to his tongue's commanding demand for access. He brought his hand to cup the side of my face as he drove his tongue into me. My body came alive at the ferocity of his kiss, as if the world would bring about the end of days if he ever stopped touching me. I squeezed my thighs around his hips and buried my hands in his thick hair. He bit my lower lip before driving his mouth back into mine. The greedy eagerness of his hands struggling with my shirt. Um, mm, yeah, that happened. Hi, Brittany.
Hey, hey. Give me
Hi.
one.
We're
Catch
just
it right with the spicy stuff.
reading some spicy things.
We're about to get into the juicy part.
Mm-hmm.
Super juicy part. Well, that's a lie. All this has been juicy so far. All right. Writing shirt. So now we're going to do this part. Shirt back inside. Goosebumps race across my skin in anticipation. So don't keep me waiting, I whispered. It was hard to focus on anything other than all the places his body was touching me. Small wildfires of sensation flowed by his kisses. Oh my gosh, my font is so weird. There we go. Fallon let out a shaky breath as he watched me with hunger in his eyes. Oh, but I want to. I want I want you corrupted on your knees begging for it. If only so you'd get more of a taste of what it was like to be anywhere near you. I was panting in need as he pushed his two fingers inside of me. I want you to know how desperate I was having this sweet kitty so close, doing everything I could not to just grab you and fuck you till I was the only thought that crossed your mind. My eyes went wide as he curved his long fingers into my sweet spot. Oh, gods, I sobbed. Oh, fuck, please. Yes, he growled. As he watched me cling to him, I'm going to ruin you, little rabbit. The brutal place, the pace of his fingers had me trembling as I tried to spread my legs further. Anything to take more of him in. Fallon's tongue swirled around my kitty, making me see stars. Tears gathered in the corners of my eyes as my orgasm built rapidly inside. Alrighty.
Whew.
Yeah, I know, child.
Oh my gosh, he's such a tease. Okay, so um tears gathered in the corners of my eyes as my orgasm built rapidly inside me. Yes, you are just in time. Please don't stop, I begged. He groaned against the sensitive bud and licked me. Say it again. So
Hmm.
damn sadistic. But I was going to burst out of my skin if I didn't come soon. Please, I wailed. Again. Fallon, please. I was frantic. My hands took hold of his horns as I tried to grind my kitty further into
Mhm.
his face. Gods, you taste sweet. Briefly, I wondered if Fallon was an incubus instead of a dragon, because when he sucked on my kitty, there was a damn good chance my soul went with it. That or I was dead. No earthly pleasures were meant to feel this good. Fallon hungrily teased my kitty, shoving his tongue deep inside, circling before pulling out to suck my to suck on my kitty. His fingers curved up into my sweet spot until I was damn sure the other dragon shifter could hear me screaming over the waterfall. My knuckles went white from squeezing his horns. My back arched as the first orgasm ripped through me like a mobster collecting a debt. I moaned as Fallon continued to stroke me deep inside me. The second orgasm well on its way. On your hands and knees, he ordered.
Okay, okay. This is Mom's about to show out right quick.
Oh
He
shit.
ordered. Desperate to chase the second high, I obeyed. Fallon ran a hand against the curvature of my ass before shedding his pants. He was not pantsless yet. I thought he
No,
was.
he was just
Jesus. He was just taking care of her. All
yes.
right, we fucks with that. Okay, Fallon ran his hands against the curvature of my ass before shedding his pants. The thick muscles of his thighs nudged my legs apart. I could feel his girth slide against the folds of my kitty. Gods, that thing must feel amazing inside a woman or painful. I'm willing to take the chance and find out. Go ahead, Queen. All right. His firm hand guided my upper back down until I was resting on my forearm, giving him an ample view of my ass. My demon groaned as he traced a hand up my back. His free hand stroked my thigh as he drank in the sight. You're such a good little rabbit. That's the one that got me. Okay.
Mm.
Excuse me, his hand slid up the nape of my neck before fisting his hand in my hair. I gasped as he pulled my head back to whisper in my ear, Do you want me to praise you? My body quivered. The power he had over me seized my sense like a drug. Yes. With a grunt, he thrust it deep inside of me and aggressively intrusion had a ting of delicious pain as my kitty stretched to accommodate him. This way, his thick eggplant open, forced me open, had me digging my nails into the mossy ground. Pain was all right, and that's 5, and this is 6. Now you got the spicy,
Oh, okay, let me see. Let's
or
see.
I can read it either
No, I
or.
got it.
Go ahead, girl.
Pain was not something I knew I was into. The new revelation was filled away for later as I lifted my ass higher to take more of him. Oh wait, before we continue though, length or girth? What?
I would say okay. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. I can go either or. It depends on how you rocking with it. right? But girth definitely. I think girth, like length, I feel like it's good for a point, and then you just tired of it because like it hurts or whatever. Because I like pain, so girth me out, baby. Girth me out.
Well, yes, I see why you're Team Fallon.
Yeah.
All right. His voice delivered the most addictive groans of approval. Such a precious love you are. Fallon pulled out and shoved his eggplant back in, using
Mhm.
the fist in my hair as a rein. Again, my body came alive with a strange mix of pain and pleasure. It felt so dirty, but oh, so good. You like it when I'm in control, don't you? Of course you do. He thrust in again, then ground his hips into my sweet spot. Fuck yes, I moaned, clutching the ground like it was the only thing tethering me to this plane. My breath became erratic as he set a slow, steady pace. Soon my body grew accustomed to his size as the dull pain turned into increased pleasure. The hand on my hip tightened as I bucked against him. The slow build was torturous. Gods, I need more of him. I will burn this entire island to the fucking ground. What's wrong, love? He asked. I turned my head to see the devilish grin on Fallon's face. Feeling at the end of your tether? I giggled and thrust my hips against um, back inside. Ooh, jeez Louise, this guy.
Ma'am,
Mm,
ma'am, ma'am. Spicy, we love it. I
we
left it
love
at
it.
that part. I left it at that part because I want people to read the book. Definitely. Um, Gucci, I love it. I'll take 18 more of those right now. But yeah, that was a really, really intense scene. And I also like they're both eager. They're both feral for each other. And I fucks with that. Especially like now she's being a good rabbit. Go off.
A
We
good
love that for
rabbit.
you. A good rabbit. We love it. But definitely that was a good part. They do the shbang. We love that. But then what happens after? I forget after that. Because don't they because they still didn't get the other chalices, right? Did they? I don't remember, girl. My
So,
brain.
if I remember correctly, they do the shebang. Everybody comes because they're looking for, survivors.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, it ruins
Fallon,
it for them.
yeah, Fallon's like, not right now. Like, and then she's like, we have to stop. They're like, I think Usha was the one that interrupted them.
Hmm.
And he was like, I will burn this entire island to the ground. And she's like, no, like, they're looking for us. They're concerned. And he was like, well, I mean, she already left. We can continue. She's like, no, everybody will hear. And so
Hmm.
they regroup, and he's like, but she's like, we need to come back to this island though. After we finish everything, we need to come back.
Hmm.
And so they regroup with the others, and um, Dante comes over and he explains, like, hey, like, the time to strike is now. Like, we broke the chalice. She's weak, but she's going to be expecting us to get to the last temple. And if we don't leave now, she's going
Hmm.
to be too powerful for us to overtake him, because they only had about 100 people on the ship.
Yeah.
A lot of people got injured. Some people died. And, they're kind of two beat up dragons right now, but they're healing, they're fine. And so he says, well, I don't have enough energy to fight, but I can get y'all there quick if I fly
Hmm.
as fast as I can and
Oh
tie
yeah.
the boat to my back. We'll get there, because everybody's like, well, it's going to take like weeks to get there. And they're like, no, not
Yep.
with us. And so Fallon uses
My
a
baby
shuttle.
saving the day.
Yes.
My Dante saving the day.
Yes. And so Fallon, I think, uses his shadow magic to kind of cloak them so
Hmm.
that they can move freely, and get there as fast as they can. Because there's like still like monsters out there
Oh
patrolling.
yeah.
So yeah, they get
Yeah.
there, and like Dante said, there was like people waiting for them to arrive, and they were
Oh yeah,
preparing
those
themselves for battle.
motherfuckers.
But on the boat, everyone's seasick because of how fast everything's going, and Fallon uses that time to tell Cinnamon a little bit about like now that they're bonded, like bonded because he did some stuff to her that marked her as like wifey.
Yep.
He's like, well, you know, some of my magic is gonna take to you, so like just know, you know, in a few years you'll be able to do some magic or something.
Yeah, did she try to do like fireballs or something?
Yeah,
she was like, can I do it? Can I do it? And he's like, no, not right now. Not like that. Like you could do it, but not right now. I thought that was adorable. And I love when they put that in for like human lovers of like mythical, magical people. We're like, hey, we're bonded, so you're going to get some magic from me. And she's like, fireball. Like, no, not yet, baby girl. I think she can do a little bit of something, but it's nothing to the majority of like she thought like she could start doing something now, but
and I think he had some kind of ability, like advantage as well, being bonded to her. I don't remember if it was that he could like heal faster.
I want to say it was the healing faster, but I do know that now he has more food for him with flavor. So we're very excited about that.
He's very excited.
Spice Trader, he is very excited. Yes. Oh no, wait, doesn't he do that? I think I'm not sure if it's this or later on. I think later on where he brings her fruit. Yeah. Because I thought that was cute. Like he was trying. He was so cute. He's like this, and she's like, no, that's not what that's called. But anyway.
So they get there, and the guardians that were taken away from their village are there on the beach waiting to kick ass. Well, at the temple. And it's that girl with the lavender sword that at the beginning where the blacksmith was like, this girl, so annoying. But I'm going to make her sword. So it's her, Sin's ex, the one that she didn't want to go adventuring with, who ran off, him, and there's another like mage guy that was made as a champion. And another lady, like a cloaked lady that can do magic, I think. Yeah, because she has like.
But I think they were like the focal points. Though was definitely the girl that they know. What was her name? Let me pull up her name. Wasn't it like Charlotte or something? Something with a C. I don't know. But she shows up and she's like, "Oh my God, what's up, bestie? What you doing here? That's crazy. Why are you with some demons?" And you know, maybe they got her seduced or something. Like, chill out. And then her ex is like, oh, so you like pretty much the energy I got was like, oh, so you fucking demons now? That's wild of you. And Fallon's like, can I kill this one?
He was like, who is this? Can I kill
this man? That's your lover? Yeah. He's so insecure, but I love it too because he's very protective. He's like, what's good? What happened? Tell me about this person.
But like, he was like, he saw what was going on and he was like, why are you touching my woman? To Fallon.
Yeah, to Fallon.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God.
No, Fallon was just like.
He was like, let me kill him.
Say psych right now. Say psych right now.
Right.
And she's trying to save everybody. She's like, please, for the love of the gods, stop it.
Yes. So
I'm not your woman.
They found out that one of the 4 of the champions was able to like repel any attacks. So anything they did, even Fallon's magic was not reaching. It was not hitting. And so they're like, how are we going to do it? We're outnumbered. We can't touch them. Like, we can't hold out very long. And Fallon was like, it's that one. And so Sin was like, well, if we kill her, I think Fallon was like, if we kill the one at the barrier, everything's good. I got this. And they're like, you're not going, we know that you're brainwashed, but you're not going to let someone kill one of us, are you?
Yeah.
And Sin has her bow and arrow, and she's just like,
who wants to smoke?
And she lets it go. She lets it fly, hits the girl in the chest because they're like, you're not going to kill. They told Fallon, they're like, she's not going to kill one of her own. And she was like,
Yeah.
"You're right," and she let go of the arrow
Yeah.
and killed the
Yeah.
girl
To
at the
other
barrier.
people. Yeah. She's
And
like, shut
so
your
they were
mouth.
freaking out, and they're like, "Oh no, how dare you!" And they tried to fight, and they realized, "Oh, we're weak as shit," and so
Yeah.
they got beat down. Um,
That's hilarious.
I
I would
believe,
love to be there
yeah.
eating popcorn. I'm like, get him. I was like, you gonna let him talk to you like that, Fallon? That's wild. Not if that was my woman. That's
And of
hilarious.
course, Sin tried to
Mhm.
eliminate further casualties, but her ex just popped off at the mouth one too many times, and
Exactly.
Fallon did what he had to do.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's it.
Yes.
But
But the others follow suit. They're like, well, after they were convinced, about Maeva,
mhm.
they told them about Maeva and was like, hey, look, we have to go kill her. Fallon,
Mhm.
no, oh no, I forgot why Fallon was out. I think he was still helping fight. But Sin was able to get into the temple and confront Maeva one
Okay.
last time. And it was very scary. The Lich Queen, of course, was using all her nasty, gooey, deadly death power. And
Yeah. That's so
I
gross.
believe Sin was able to conjure up the shadows and kind of hide herself for a
Yeah.
while. Yeah, she was able to tap into the dragon
Her
magic,
magic. Yeah.
and she cloaked everything. And
Exactly.
Maven was talking shit trying to find her, but then Sin, being Sin, was able to kill
Mhm.
Maven. And it was great. It was like, oh man,
Oh
everybody was
God.
excited. And the temple, I believe, fell down.
Good. Good for them.
I think that's
Because fuck all that.
yeah,
I think, yeah, so that's what happens at the end of it. And then I think that's when they start going back home.
yeah. They go back to
Yeah.
the island.
And she starts introducing people. Oh no, yeah, no, they go back to the island. Yep.
Yes,
But
Fallon, because she's all exhausted after using
yeah.
dragon magic, she kind of goes to sleep for a while. And in that time, I think it's like a few days, Fallon
Yeah.
makes their beach house. He makes them a beach house.
Yeah. We all need dragons in our lives.
Yes, he put signs up where it told people if you come past this sign, I'll burn you and you'll die.
I
And
love that.
so they have a private little area.
Hmm.
And he made her dinner, her favorite dish, which was, he was like,
Sea
I
spider.
made you sea bugs. And she was like, sea bugs? And he's like, yeah, I made you some sea bugs. And he's like, I couldn't find the ones that we had in the swamp.
That's wild.
So I got some big ones because I've never had to look for sea bugs in the ocean, but I found some.
Mm-hmm.
So here, they're in the pot. And he's like, and I sniffed everything to make
Uh-huh.
sure it smelled like the way yours smelled like. And so she was like so flattered. And at first,
Yeah.
like she looked like kind of pouty, and he was like, what's wrong? She's
Hmm.
like, no, nobody's ever done something like this for me. And it's my favorite. So like he actually
Hmm.
made her crab, like a crab pot.
Yeah.
Really cute.
So adorable.
Yes. And then they did some freaky shit at the
Of
end.
course they were doing some freaky shit, but I like how I did like when she woke up, she was telling him to me it's like he got caught in the cookie jar type situation because like people were still struggling and like healing and stuff. He just kidnapped her and he's like, "This is we're leaving. We're not
Yeah.
dealing with this shit anymore." And she's like, "Where's our people? Are they good?" And he's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Did you check up on them?" "Yeah, sure, babe. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I got you sea bugs. You like this?
Yeah.
You want this?" And so he's just like, she's like, "Okay, I know everybody's good, but like we got to go back soon." He's like, no, you said we could have our time off. You said we could have our time off. We're having our time off. Don't take this from me. I worked hard. And it's just like the sweetest thing because like he has this, I will say at all, I don't know, maybe I'm a toxic person, but I didn't see him being toxic really at all in any of these situations. He's not possessive. He's not like he's possessive, but like in the nice way, not like this is my girl all the time type shit. He was like, no, this is my girl. I'm just letting everybody know. And she's like, yeah, fuck you. I'm not. And
And
he's like, yeah, okay, baby, that's fine.
and
But like,
even in the like protective instances, he
yeah,
waited. Like he was made like he paused. He definitely hesitated a lot to try to figure out the nature of humans and what's appropriate.
yeah,
There are moments where he could have just off people's heads, but he was like
oh yeah.
looking at Sam like, I'm about
He's
to
like,
do
can I do
something.
it?
Yeah.
He's like a guard dog. He's like, can't do now, and she's like, no. He's like, fuck. Like I
Mhm.
said, I think my favorite part though, they come back home after everything. They come back home. She's introducing him to the family. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is my husband. And you're just like, what? And you're just so excited. And he's like, yes, I've always known this was going to happen, though. Like, even his smugness, like, I already knew. I don't
Yeah.
know why you guys are surprised. I said from the beginning. Chapter 1, I said this shit.
And her mom just embraces him.
Yeah.
That was so sweet. Oh.
Mom was G though. Mama was G. She
Yeah.
like she was the only one not scared of him. She was just like, "You want some food? Shut up, sit down." He's like, "This is amazing. What is this?"
Yes, it's
You
really
know?
cute.
Yeah.
And I love that we do get to see them later in the second book. So definitely read all 3 of the Mead Mishap books and trilogy because it gets it gets even more cuddly and cute and fun. So everything you loved about the first book is definitely packed in the others. So I
Definitely.
definitely encourage you. The second book's my favorite because I love
Okay.
Felix and Bree. Felix and Bree are my favorite. But
I'm definitely gonna give it a thing. I know right now my brain is consumed with um vampires.
oh, let's get into
So
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna get into it. But for anybody who's just showing up, because and we'll talk about that a little later. Um, we were talking about and finishing up our last book. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. It was schmutty. We read the spicy paces. You guys forgot, so make sure you listen to us. And we were getting saucy in those words. I don't know about. I know I was. I was blushing. I was all that. So we were doing the thing. Now we're ending the show soon, and we're gonna actually talk about some news we have coming up for next month in our next book, because we need your guys' help. We can't decide what book we want to read. We have a 50-50 on pretty much all the platforms. So I would love to read both. I'm going to read both regardless. The theme is vampires, so I'm going to go into some things with you guys in one moment. And here's a little clip of it.
But could you love her? A haunted, haunted house. Or could you love me now? A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. A haunted, haunted house. If you're too scared, get out. A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. Broken windows and a warning scribbled on my wall saying that you better turn around. Wouldn't be the first to try to burn me down. You're blue, you too. Would you love me at my worst? Till the coffins in the dirt try to break me like a curse. You know that will never work. I'm a little bit absurd, dancing on the verge. Anyone can love a pretty little mansion. But could you love her? A haunted, haunted house. Or could you love me now? A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted.
I love it, love it, love it.
Love it.
Thank you so much. I was stressing, my computer kept shutting off, but we'll again talk about that later. So if you guys didn't pick it up, we are going to be very vampire theme next month, next episode. We are trying to decipher between 2 books. And Miss Jasmine, if you can go ahead and tell us about your book.
Yes, Queen Takes Night. It should be interesting. I was trying to pick something that was a little more spicy than I typically pick, and I like reverse harems, and this felt like a good pick. There's vampires. There's 2 males and a female that are involved with each other. It's like a love triangle
Spicy.
kind of thing. So yeah, it's very spicy. I believe I believe there's going to be a lot of sharing and back and forth. So,
oh yes, I did some research on this book. It's POC as well. The characters are connected to ancient Egypt, ISIS, to all these things. Very, very interesting. Like, to be fair, I wasn't really excited about like all the blood. I'm not a bloody person, but after doing the research, like I said, I was intrigued. I was like, you know what? It's a little bit. She's a virginal queen who's like, I don't want to do none of this. I just want to live my life. And people are like, well, you're a queen, so here's these two men who's gonna fight for you and whatever. Spicy, 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 spicy. Now,
also, this was also kind of hush hush library lady approved because I did ask for some recommendations from other library ladies.
Snap.
So I was like, hey, what do you think about this for a vampire pick? And they were just like, yes, go for it. They agreed. It was all approved. Some of them actually mentioned it by title when I was asking for recommendations. So it's definitely library lady approved, the smutty library quiet committee, you know.
Hey, gang. Yeah. I know my book. And this is also just to put side note, her book is about a queen. My book is about a king. So vampire king, vampire queen. Let's see what's good. But mine is called The King of Battle and Blood. This is a book that is enemies to lovers. It is schmut. It has plot. I know from the reviews, people were like, I would like some plot with my smut. And I was like, no. It's fine. But you know me. So this book from the gate, the girl's already playing with herself. Like the first fucking, I think the second chapter, she's like, I need to go upstairs and do what I got to do because I got to take care of shit. And then like, there's like this annoying ass guy who's like her protector. He's a piece of shit. And she smashed him once and she must be magical because he's like, he just won't leave me alone. He's just like, you're mine. And she's like, I only used you, bro. We were smashing. And then you told my dad, who's the king, fuck you. Because it was his way of like keeping tabs on her. So she was like, I can never do you again because you telling my daddy. Fuck you. So at this point, I'm actually in chapter, I don't know, 5, I guess, 5 or 6 with this book. Again, she's already pleasured herself like 17 fucking times.
Oh.
She there. And then the best part is that like she meets the vampire king and they're enemies, right? So like she agrees to be a part, you know, to be his wife, to stop war. And she's like, I don't fucking care about you. And then he's like, yeah, but that's not what you were thinking. She's like, wait, you can read minds? And he's like, yep, the whole time. Yeah, I bet you want to know how I taste right now, huh? And she's like, shut up. Don't ever do that again. I'm like, bro, he just carded you though. He just carded you. I'm at the point right now where they just got married and he's like, I'm going to respect you because you're going to be my wife. So I'm not going to do anything unless you want me to. And she's very bratty, which I like, but also hate because it's like bratty for no reason pisses me off. Where she's like, I will never want to be with you. Bitch, you're already married. And then before, I'm going to stab him. Why? He didn't do anything. He's been respecting you this whole time. I would have punched you in the fucking face because I could not. And then, of course, you have the secondary male who's like, that's my woman. And she's like, no, I'm not. Like, I imagine from Mean Girl scene where he's like, she doesn't even go here. Like that every time he talks. Shut up. And literally everybody tells him to shut up every time he talks. He's like, you're going to let her marry this guy? Shut up. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, oh, it's so stupid.
Would you say, okay, let's rate the book that we just finished today on a level of spiciness from 1 chili being like innocent, like PG-13, to 5 level spicy being like XXX triple X?
So for the book we just read, I personally feel like it's between a 3.4 or 3.5 to a 4. Again, my tolerance of schmut and spice is crazy.
So how would you rate King Takes Queen?
Honestly, a 5.
Oh.
From the gate, because again, it's schmut. All it is schmut. And I feel like it's, if you don't want to take a thing seriously, like, not saying you shouldn't, because these authors put their whole backs in these books.
Yeah.
Because trust me, the girlies and the guys and the theys and everybody who reads our books, our spicy books, we don't play. We will go into your home, be it goodreads.com and everything else, and we will trash your life. They don't care. And so they have to be on their A game. If not, they have to apologize for that shit. Like, so I would definitely say it's definitely a level 5, just because of her doing her stuff by herself. And her imagination, she's just like, oh, like there's this one scene where she's like, yeah, I'm about to, play with myself, whatever. And then he's like, and then I imagined him and he's just hovering above me. He's like, what's up, baby girl? What you doing? And she's like, why are you here? He's like, you summoned me. And I was just like, just accept it. You have a sexy vampire who just happens to be there, who's respectful.
But what's better than one sexy vampire?
No, honestly, that's what's hurting me with the decision, because I didn't realize yours was, and I think another thing that's making me lean towards, because I want to read both. I think we both discussed that. But I think what really got me into your book the most is not only is it 2 male, female, there's sometimes cross, I believe, that I've heard like from other comments. Like there's like a hint of other things, which I love. But also POC.
Mm-hmm.
I strive for that. And I love ancient Egypt. So I was like, hell yeah. And the fact that the collection of books actually has other POC characters make me want to read it more. Because again, we are POC women. We are Black and brown women. I want to see us in books. Yes. I love reading these other fantasy books because it is fantasy. But if I can't always imagine myself. Like we talked about Winnie in the book before. Like I'm not her. I can't imagine myself with that. The sexy part, yes. Everything else, no. And I want to see a character that has, what was one of the descriptions of the character was like, her skin was like polished ebony. And I was like, that's a beautiful fucking description. Mm-hmm. What does she look like? Her eyes are golden like glass or like diamonds. I was like, holy shit.
Or how even like Fallon is coded as a person of color. Like he talks about like his obsidian hooded eyes,
yes.
And I'm just like, oh, he's so beautiful.
I love it.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think I'm gonna read both of them regardless. But how about you? Before I say my piece, what do you say? What do you say?
I like, okay, so I was like, when I picked my book, I was like, this is gonna win. This is so like everybody's gonna read this. And then I started looking into your book and I was like, dang, this sounds real interesting too. Mm-hmm. I don't know. As a girly who I feel like I want lots of loves.
No,
like leaning towards my book. And like you said, like I feel like I'm spoiled a little bit after reading this Kimberly Lemming book because everything's so like POC coded that you get comfy and you can just read and enjoy it and not have to try to, I don't know, like you know what it is, like
no, I agree.
To, like fit your own
it's like she has ivory skin and I'm like, who the fuck? No, she has. And then I read it and I translate it in my brain as she has brown skin. She has this type because again, I'm not a fan of it.
I want to be immersed. I want to escape into it. And if like I can't relate at all, or if I, like even like when they talk about Fallon just putting his fingers in her hair, the description of like the textures that are familiar to me just made it that more tangible in my brain, like I could see it. And so I think having POC coded vampire fantasy sounds interesting to me because I've never read that kind of vampire book.
So I personally say, let's just eat
because
it.
vampires are always white.
That's what I'm saying. And it's funny because it doesn't, first of all, Akasha, come on. And I'm not going by the book Akasha. I'm going by the what you call. Come on. The first person in the world, in whatever the hell, black woman, African woman, brown skin. Why you're telling me that a vampire can't be black or brown or whatever? Get out of here. Which is weird, right? I get it because it's a sunny situation and they're vampires. We get it. But no, thank you. So...
And it reminds me of, I don't know if you saw Nocturne, Castlevania Nocturne.
Yes. First of all, that's why, honestly, that was another reason.
Orlox being an Aztec vampire? Come on now.
First of all, you know what? So I'm going to say, what was the spice level, though? What did you feel the spice level was?
I said it's a 4. I think it's a 4.
Okay. So why don't we do this? Let's do this. We're going to both do you feel like you're going to read them both at the same time or one and then one?
I often read books at the same time that I'm interested in. One, for two reasons. One, I don't like to end a book I really like really fast. And so it extends it a little more. But also, I want to compare like chapters and how fast they progress, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Because I'm always thinking as a Black POV, vampires that I've got to spend my time with, actual immortal colonizers and slaveholders.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the issue. Like I have when we read any type of romance novel, most of them, or any books, everything is pretty much white, unfortunately. Right. That's why that's one of the reasons why we have our platform, right? Because we're trying to bring up that. However, there's not a lot that's available to us at the moment. Some of these artists, and I think we'll definitely talk about that another time. There was a author, a Black woman, who put her work out there, and she got rejected from every publishing establishment.
Yeah.
So it's so hard because they're like, nobody wants to read that. And we're like, yes, we do.
Yes, we do. And then they tell us, well, nobody's publishing that because you guys aren't interested. I'm like, yes, we are. You just aren't publishing us.
So
we're
honestly,
yeah.
No, we are. That's why we fight. That's why we fight and do what we do. So I personally say, why don't we read for the podcast? Let's go ahead and read your book. We'll talk about that. And I think I'll make extra content about the other book. Or we could also spice it in if we got to talk about it. We'll do like an extra thing on the podcast, like, hey, let me tell you about A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I think because I'm going to read both of them too. I'm already doing it. I'm actually also rereading the last book we just read because it's just so cute. And it did took me a little bit to like get into it. So I want to kind of like go back to the beginning and read it again. But I think that's what we should do.
So, okay, let's split it and be like King and Queen half hours, you think?
Okay. Let's do it. King, Queen, we could do that. We'll talk. We'll discuss everything further a little later. I love it. King versus Queen. I love it. Yay. Yes. Oh no. Let's see. Okay. And if anybody ever sees our show or listen to us on Spotify, if you are an author that does POC characters, Black and brown characters, please let us know. Hey G, hey. Let us know, and we want to read this book. If you're just somebody who loves reading books and you know more about, please let us know, because we want to keep putting that to attention. As much as we respect and love everybody's work and we understand, we also want to have a space for us. We need that as well. I'm tired of pretending, rewriting these white people in my brain. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I don't look anything like her, and I'm definitely, whatever. I can't. So
Orlox was great because he's like, I'm an Aztec man, and I very purposely fed on rich Europeans because of reparations.
Honestly, I love that. I love that about him. I'm gonna feel like watching that later. I gotta watch Sailor Moon though.
We have to rewrite. Yes,
everything.
tonight.
I know, I gotta watch it tonight. But so we have a few announcements for the next episode. So make sure you tune up. I might dress up. I don't know. We'll talk about that. I kind of want to cosplay again. I have my fangs, so I might do vampire. I don't know. If you want us to cosplay, let us know. So we could do that. But and I have my crown. Anyway, we'll talk about this later. We have announcements. We're connected to a few people and teams for September. So we're going to definitely bring that up next episode. So be on the lookout on all of our websites and our pages. Exactly. Yes. Cosplay is great. So I'm not sure this is going to come up close, but we just want to make sure you guys are adding us. We hit 200 on our Facebook page, guys.
Yes, thank you.
We are so excited about that. I hate how this posts all of our links, but just be on any of our profiles and just click on stuff, add it. Anything you guys, questions, concerns, anything, let us know. Just do it. We're here for you guys. We're here for us. We're here for everybody. Yes. Miss Jasmine, I forget. We're so close in name. I'm like, that's me. So where can we find you? Where you at, girl?
You can find me on Black Friday Official, also Halcyon Crow and Fabies and Friends. If you want to hear me talk with a writer from Castlevania Nocturne, I have episode 1 of Fabies and Friends. We're talking with one of the authors and how she wrote POC characters that are vampires from an authentic place. So definitely check out Fabies and Friends. You can find them on wherever you listen to podcasts usually. I think Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart, Amazon. Yeah.
I got to get on all those. I'm on Spotify and I'm okay with that. I can't do anything else in my brain right now. But of course, everybody, you do also have me, the fancy fetish lady. If you know me, you know me. Sexually Speaking, for my other podcast. And I'm also a co-host in another podcast called Also Talks Podcast, which is a nerdy conversational podcast. We talked about Star Trek last time. That shit was dope because I am a nerd and I love that shit. Again, you can find me on any social media as Miss Giselle or Giselle Allure. Obey Miss J for only 18 and over, please. Along with Sexually Speaking. Just shout out to our gang here. We have HNIC Network on all platforms. You can view us on any of those platforms as well as, just saying hi to them. Unicorn Universe Network is such a tongue twister sometimes. That's our main gang. You're going to hang out with them. You're going to add them on all social medias as well. If you have any questions, just let us know. But is there anything else? Anything else, lovely? All right, that's it. Next episode, we're going to have all of our new things that I've been working on. And that's pretty much it. And you guys have a great one, okay? Bye.
Bye.